Coach, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations for advancing to the semi-finals of the MTN 8. Maybe we can just start with a summary of the 120 minutes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, gents. To be honest, I think we had a very good start in the game. Created a lot of chances. I think in the first 30 minutes, probably we had created more than 17 good chances. But unfortunately, when you don't take those chances, you hit the upright twice. I think Peter's header was just short of the direction, but everything else was good. And when you don't score, then you start to panic, you start to develop an element of anxiety. Our second half, we kept pushing again. Unfortunately, even there are some moments we could have capitalized on. I think Mshishi could have scored. I think Masego could have done something. There are many moments that we created, but not as clear as the first half ones. I think in the extra time we made our life very difficult. But thanks to Dennis for taking one for the team, because I think had he not made that save or that foul, we could be talking a different story now. But I think after the red card, we recollected ourselves. Structurally, we gained control of the game, and fortunately, we managed to get a goal from them. But overall, if there's any element of unhappiness, it would be on the number of chances that we missed, because most of the questions would not be asked if the chances were buried. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach. Questions from the floor? Hands. Okay, let's get the microphone ready.
Thanks, Fatu. Savona, Coach. Coach, yesterday, Coach Tinkler said qualifying for the next round gives you more time to play even more and maybe get your structure in place. You spoke about being a bit more direct, and it was evident today, because even in transition you were more direct instead of rotating the ball, and the chances that you talked about, I mean, you hit the crossbar twice in the first half. Are you happy that you made it through, and then you get to play more MTN games before the league resumes, and so that the things that you want to do, or the things that you want the boys to do, are more polished going forward?
To be honest, the objective was always one. We wanted to get through to the semi-finals, and that has been achieved. But you are also right that the first match of the season will always have some elements of anxiety, some elements of desperation, and maybe sometimes even more caused by the level of motivation of wanting to try and make sure that you don't disappoint the coach and what when it gives you an opportunity. And I think that's where some of the mistakes bordered around, because I think some of the players did not perform at the level that I expected, because they made some silly mistakes technically and they started to lose the momentum of the game. But I'm very happy that we are through to the next round, because it gives us an opportunity to build from what we have. And also, maybe the setback of getting a red card is also good for the team, because it also builds a little bit of character. And I always like these moments. That's why sometimes I always say every cloud has got a silver lining, because when you get a red card and you are able to sustain everything and continue and still win the match, that will never be forgotten. It's an investment that you have for the season, because it means even next time when we get a red card, we will still be looking at still fighting to win the match, no matter what. So I'm thankful.
All right,
Good evening, Coach. Congratulations on the victory. Coach, when you've got a player such as Riviero in your team, I mean, we've seen a couple of times what he does with the ball. It looks like he's a player that you must give him the ball and give the rest of the squad another ball, because he just loves it and it's good with it. Do you think he will be at Sundowns for a long time with the talent that he has, and how blessed are you to have such a player in your squad?
I think it's a blessing. I think there's a lot of positives in his game. I think he's still going to help us a lot, but there are also elements of his game that must also improve. Maybe that is what will help him to get other bigger opportunities in Europe. The good thing is that he works very hard, and he's a team player, but sometimes I think he tends to be consumed by the outside forces in the game and lose the focus of the match. And sometimes when you've got a player like that, it's easy for opposition to always poke him so that he gets out of the game, because I do think he had a very good start, but immediately after those few fouls that were not given and the yellow card that he got, then he tended to go back into his shell, and it was difficult for him to come back. We were hoping that he will come back, but he was not. But in terms of talent, he's no doubt one of the best players we have, but I still believe there's a lot of work to be done.
Coach, I just want to ask about Isquaman. So why did you loan him? And you didn't just loan him, you loaned him with an option to sell him. Why?
Do I want to answer this one? I think it was the best decision from the club. Thank you very much.
Okay, Tsepang.
Coach, congratulations on the victory. Riva, since he's got his play in midfield at the back, where we saw him playing today, is that where you see him playing? Is that his preferred position for you? Just how you think he performed today?
If you remember very well, I think I was the one who also advised Coach Pitso that we should use him in the midfield, because to me he is that player that should not be outside the pitch, no matter what, because he's got so much that he offers. As a centre back, he's very good, but obviously there are games where you might be looking for something different, and he might give you something in the midfield. So I'm trying the best I can to make at least each and every player to have at least two positions, so that we do not have the pressure of moving people around. Like today, Neo ended up playing as a fullback, but it's something that we have practiced, because we want them to know sometimes when you want more offensive play, and we could have easily resorted to trying to be more defensive and play Musa at left back and bring Grant very early, but we still had to chase the game. We still had to try and get something out of the game. That's why we used Neo in that space. But the truth of the matter is, almost every player that we have, we are trying the best we can to give him a second position. Probably it's only the goalkeepers that are safe. But maybe when Dennis scores a header one day, he will not be safe. We will appreciate that he can also be a striker. So the truth is, he is a very versatile player, and is very important to the club, and I think he's playing very well at centre back as well.
Coach, just to follow up, does Modiba's emergence in the team as an 8 now, since pre-season and start of the season now, made that Esquivel decision easier? And you talk about looking for things different, some different options. They say that Ikram Reyners will arrive this week. Wide left, something pacey up front. Is that the difference that you're looking for?
I think we've always preferred Aubrey as an 8. Even Coach Fulani, I do not want to take the credit of playing him as an 8, because even Coach Fulani was playing him there. Because we think he's got a lot more to give in the midfield than just as a fullback. And also the intensity that we want probably on the fullbacks, considering that most wingers in South Africa are quite quick. It's a little bit important to try and have fullbacks that can really react to these situations in the wide channels, where you've got Apolis, you've got all the players that are playing wide. Ramabu was also a handful. Dlamini was also a handful. So you need a little bit of speed in those areas, and the creativity that Aubrey has, because in the midfield I think he can play both as an 8, as a 6, and even as a 10 he can play. So it is very important in our creative structure in the club. And as for Ikram, we are happy to have him because he will add something to the club. I'm looking at him more for the Champions League than even the PSL, in as much as he will help us in the PSL, but I think in the Champions League he will really give us something more.
Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you for that. Coach, I'm looking at the draw. Let's look at it holistically. It's Gauteng versus the Cape. It looks good in the eye. 4 types of football playing teams. You know that in the Cape they'll run at you. You know that Gauteng players, they will keep the ball, they will share the ball among themselves, and Sundowns and Pirates. This gives us a chance that you guys can probably make it into the final as things stand, looking at the 4 teams that are there. What do you make of the whole draw as a football fan, not as a Sundowns coach?
I think I like it. I think I like it. Honestly, I think it's a very good draw for all the teams, because we will again face a low block, face the counter-attack, and I think this is a very good preparation for us, because our season is going to be to be defined by this type of matches. We are going to be playing almost this type of a match every week, and it's good to prepare for this, because to win the championship you must be able to win these games. And on the issue of Ikram, by the way, it would be nice to have him.
Okay, Coach. Coach, I just want to speak about something a bit different. What would be your message to some of the Sundowns fans who seems to be, I'm not sure what would be the right English word, but to be unsatisfied or unhappy that Mngqithi has been given a 1-year contract extension?
I think it's the right thing to do. And everybody is free to make his opinion heard, but I think it's the right thing to do. Because for players at that age, it's important to keep them on their toes. I don't think it necessarily means he will be out of the club after 1 year, but for him to stay sharp, it's important that he knows he has to fight for the next contract. And I think if all PSL teams can adopt that, it will be the best thing that we can do for our football. Because most of senior players, they want to get a 4-year contract, because they know they are looking for retirement, and you want them to perform every week. And I think it's a good thing, and I think Mngqithi is the right player for that, because he is a very professional boy. He will work very hard. He will know he cannot sit on his laurels. He has to give it his best shot, and I'm very confident he will do very well.
Coach, when the club has been so dominant in the last 10 years, how do you handle the situation where anything less than A is regarded as some sort of failure because of the standards that you guys have sort of set for yourself?
We are still going to be dominant.
Okay. Coach, will you still continue? Sorry.
No, I'm done.
Okay. Last one from us.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Jody. Do you expect the goalkeeping department to be a lot stronger? Obviously, came on after the red card, didn't look out of place, but I think this is only his second official game for Sundowns since he signed from Cape Town. Just his performance, and you expect him to play an even bigger role this season?
To be honest, I think there's been a big mindset change, or maybe a new paradigm in him, because he came in pre-season very early and looking in very good shape, and he has had a very good pre-season with us. And I was happy for him to get even a game, though it was under wrong circumstances, but it was nice to see him in an official match, and we end up winning that match, because like I said, every cloud has got a silver lining. Sometimes it's important for these boys to get into the deep end so that they can swim and see what you have after that. Because now him and Riyad and Sanele have to fight very hard whilst Ronwin is still out to make sure that we continue where we have ended now. So it's important that a player like him gets a chance to play. And I believe he's a very good goalkeeper. It's just that maybe before he lacked a bit of personality, but I think now he understands what he has to do, and take it from me, he's looking very good even in training.